The last thing I was going to ask you about, because I've given short shrift to the domestic economy, as you were saying that, I was thinking about jobs. If trade's going to go down, obviously, and the Chinese are thinking about jobs in the future, you were saying that it's all about jobs, jobs, jobs in terms of where they're coming. What are the Chinese thinking in terms of, 5-year plans, both in terms of jobs and in terms of trade and the political fight with the United States? How are they? What's the shift in terms of where their emphasis is going to be going forward, given the political dynamics, the trade dynamics, and the growth dynamics?
Good question to ask, especially in 2020, because the old 5-year plan, which was from 2016 to 2020, obviously it's over now, and the new one will be drafted in this year. And probably, I would say, sometime after the summer, fall, sometime around then, we may see the first drafts of the 14th 5-year plan, which will take us out to 2025. Now, I mean, we already know a little bit about how China thinks about its future. So many people will remember there used to be a lot of rhetoric about a strategy called Made in China 2025, which, interestingly enough, has not featured in any official rhetoric or newspaper that I've seen or read in China ever since the trade war began. I think because Beijing knows that it's like a red rag to an American bull to talk about Made in China 2025. But for those that don't know or don't remember, Made in China 2025 basically lists 10 sectors in which China wants advanced technology sectors, including electric vehicles and quantum computing and semiconductors and goodness knows what else, in which they want to have 70% market. Chinese companies, national champions, should have 70% market share. Yeah. That, I think, and that policy came out in 2015. And then 2 or 3 years later, when the Chinese got a little bit spooked by, I forget his name now, but it was the guy that basically beat the computer at Go. I think he was a South Korean champion or something. They basically made AI their, they joined AI to the MIC 25. So they want to be kind of a world leader or primary leader in AI as well. So we know that probably the next 5-year plan will make a huge song and dance about advanced technologies, about artificial intelligence, about 5G, telecommunications, green energy they care about. I mean, it's a little bit equivocal, to be honest. China is often hailed as being the champion of, climate change policies and green energy, but actually, they build a lot of coal-fired power stations in the Belt and Road countries. And when it suits them at home, they'll boost coal production, as they have done this year, in order to basically meet targets and so on. So, it's kind of mixed marks, really. But they do care about it. They know that it's a very, sensitive thing for Chinese citizens. So we should expect to see more about that as well. And I think that my guess is that the 14th 5-year plan will probably, whether it says so in so many words or not, I don't really know, but I'm sure that the emphasis on policies of self-reliance will be quite strong, including for, in particular, semiconductors. I mean, semiconductors is like the oil of the 21st century, right? I mean, you can't do anything in technology without having sophisticated, high-end semiconductor capacity, which China has had a kind of a policy about for like 20 years, but they still haven't really made as much progress as I think they hoped they would have done, and are still reliant for about 40 or 45% of their value semiconductor imports from American, Korean, Taiwanese companies. So whether they can break that logjam in the next 5 years, different science and tech people have different views about. But they've been trying for 15 years or so and hasn't really worked for them properly yet, and some people think it might still be a struggle. But that's the kind of thing we should expect to see. We can do it ourselves. We don't need to rely on the Americans anymore.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to end it in here. I think that the interview cannot be over without mentioning Liverpool and the 30-year reign of no championships. I know you're a big Liverpool supporter. What are your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp and getting the championship back?
Well, it happened under the weirdest of circumstances because we actually got the title when your team, Chelsea, beat the reigning champions, Manchester City. So we got the title without a ball. But Liverpool did fantastically. They were just light years ahead of Manchester City, the next team in the league this year. And, with the pandemic and no crowds at soccer stadiums, it's kind of strange, and nobody could really get together to celebrate in the way that teams do, and fans do. But it's been great, and so I hope we'll do it again next year.
Well, congratulations to you. We will hopefully challenge you next year. I think it'll be an exciting year. Chelsea, we have the Kai Havertz is someone that we're thinking about picking up. We need some defense, but I think that we'll be looking good under Lampard next year. I could talk to you all day about soccer, but
promise to.
I really appreciate your thoughts on China, and I hope to talk to you again very soon, George.
Good to talk to you, Ed.